Hey. Hello YouTube. I am currently streaming on Twitch and YouTube, and I've come up with the idea of going over Season 2 Devil Jin, or at least make an overview for the character and his game plan while I'm streaming. So like I'm tying both of these in one, and then I'll upload this later to YouTube hopefully. So yeah, hello YouTube. And I have now played this character up to God of Destruction, and while I do not have motivation to continue for now, especially because the rank queues are kind of dead and it's tough to find people higher you rank, since people also kind of stop playing their mains after God of Destruction, I will use that opportunity to just go over Season 2 Devil Jin for the time being, and I'm just gonna give you an overview of what the purposes of the new moves are. And first and foremost, I'll give you a general overview of his game plan. So like, Season 1 Devil Jin already revolved around his hell sweep a lot, right? Like if you didn't use his hell sweep, you were kind of trolling. Your hell sweep was like one of your main buttons in general. However, in Season 2, I feel like you're even more reliant on this hell sweep. So to put it into perspective, in the few days I've played ranked in the last few days, I've used the hell sweep, especially the heat hell sweep, more than I've hell sweep in total in the entirety of Season 1. So like, Season 2 Devil Jin is all about making the best use of his heat, whereas in Season 1, you did not really have many like different ways of utilizing your heat. Most of the time you would just go for a Morning Crow to 2 heat dash, or like back to 3 heat dash. That is no longer the case. If you waste your heat like this, you are now trolling in Season 2. So the first thing you can note for yourself is heat usage is very important in Season 2 now, and utilizing it optimally is not that easy actually. And secondly, you're gonna go in much more confidently with Season 2 Devil Jin. Because if you lack the confidence to pilot this character, you're not gonna have any success. You're gonna have to be very willing to get like maybe 2 hell sweeps in a round even blocked, and still be willing to go for a hell sweep. Especially when you're in heat. Can't get yourself discouraged just because people keep blocking your hell sweeps. There was a round, I think I was playing against Joker, where he blocked 2 hell sweeps in a row against me. I was at like 40 HP or something, and I still went in and hell sweeped, so, you know. And I still won the round. Anyway, this new hell sweep is the first move I want to talk about. Since you're off axis to the left when this hell sweep lands, your routes are not really that flexible. So like, for the open, this is the most consistent route I've followed so far. Not sure if I'll make a combo guide for Season 2 Devil Jin, but this is like one route I can recommend you to do because it's like, in my experience, it's pretty consistent. There's just one thing you have to note for this route specifically, and it's that you input Morning Crow for 1 after you see their face flip. Otherwise the timing might ruin your combo. And your main goal with this new hell sweep actually is getting them to the wall. Doesn't matter how, it doesn't have to be an optimal combo. All you have to do is get them to the wall with this hell sweep. Why? It's because of this wall combo. They nerfed Domic 1+2 Oki, as in, like, you know how you could do a down 4-4 pickup after this if they stayed on the ground? That does no longer work. However, now that that doesn't work, you can actually immediately flip your... so like if they stay on the ground, you can now flip your... you can loop your back 4 flip. Back in Season 1, if you try to loop your flip here, you would get a very weird float and they would end up on the wall again. Now you can actually just loop this back 4 without taking any risks. Like in Season 1, you would have to delay the second back 4 to get a proper flip over. Now in Season 2, you can go for it right away, and if they tech roll, perfectly safe. The reason you just want to get the wall with this new hell sweep, as I said, is because of the Morning Crow free wall combo. And Morning Crow free wall combo basically means you will get Domic 1+2 Oki, which is even more important in Season 2. So as I said, your main goal, you land this hell sweep, you get the wall. And then you get this wall combo. Super important. And this is basically what half of my matches were, like, what my goal was in half of my matches. Get the wall with the sweep, or literally any other way. Get the Morning Crow free wall combo, flip over, Domic 1+2 Oki. And then if they stop tech rolling, you can just go and get another back 4, so long as you have to read. Another flip over into Domic 1+2 Oki. So as you can see, it's mostly around Domic 1+2 still at the wall. Just that you have a new means of getting them to the wall with this new hell sweep, which is insanely strong. Not because of the hell sweep itself, but because of the Morning Crow free spike ender. This is your new bread and butter. Because this new Morning Crow free ender, you can do it from so many different carry options. So for example, even your 1-1-2, unlike longer combos, you can use your 1-1-2 for wall carry. Can even go for the Morning Crow free spike there. So your Season 2 game plan so far is utilize your heat better, use that Hell Sweep to get the ball, and if they keep blocking the Hell Sweep, I will show you a tech that will help you get the ball in another way. And then Spike Ender, Flip Over, Damek plus 2 Oki. These are the three main things you're gonna have to focus on. Because getting the ball, like, the character was already about getting the ball in Season 1, now in Season 2 even more so. And you have to be very willing to get your Hell Sweep blocked and still go for that Hell Sweep just to get the ball. Wall. This character is all about the ball now, especially with that new wall in there. And then something else to note. This new Heat Engager change where you can go into full crouch is actually very useful for Devil Jin as well. It's like you see this animation, right? Devil Jin is ducking in the animation. You are now on full crouch. Devil Jin gets access to Wisening 2 from here. You know how Wisening 2 is one of your main bread and butter mids for mixing them up, especially when you have the hard read on them ducking? Now you can actually use this as a mix tool from Heat Engager. So you now have a mid launcher, which is insanely strong for a character like Devil Jin. This used to be his main weakness from Heat Engagers. You did not have a reliable mid launcher to make them super scared of ducking, right? Your best move that you had to get them scared was up 4/3+4. So now what you can do is, and this has helped me a lot in like matches in general, even against the highest levels of players, you can now buffer your sweep in this crouching animation. As you can see, the sweep is buffered, and they can tell you're in full crouch when you go for this Heat Engager animation. So they're gonna be aware, okay, he might Hell Sweep now because he's trying to do it from the new animation. And then, bam, all of a sudden they're launched. They were thinking the Hell Sweep is coming, but instead of the Hell Sweep, you went for Voice-Tuning 2, and now you got a mid-launch. At the risk of only -12. -12 isn't that bad. There's no character in the game that will punish you very heavily from -12. So like, especially when you're in heat, you can take that damage for risking that mix-up. And if you really want to stay safe, you can still go for up 4/3+4 from this crouch Heat Engager, simply because it's an up forward input. Anything you can do from full crouch, you can also do after this crouch Heat Engager, which includes up forward inputs. Like you could even do something like, I don't know, up for 1 here into more column +2. And this is the next thing I want to talk about. Check how many times I can use this while in heat. This is already free. And I can even go for a 5th. This has to be the most stupid move I have ever gotten my hands on any character with heat. Even dumber than Kazuya's Damek 1-2 heat confirm. I'm not gonna lie to you. So like, this move practically makes up for 1 a very real move. Simply because you have a real mix-up from this now. So let's have this Devil Jin block this, right? And let's say he's trying to sidewalk for my, I don't know, for my up 4-1 maybe. For my Morning Crow 1. Or for my Morning Crow 1/2. I think this is also the set you have to sidewalk to. So what you can do is, either you go for either of those 2 options, or you just confirm this. I do not even go for the Morning Crow 2/2 heat dash anymore, I just confirm this. Back 4. Same shit again. And you can loop this over and over and over until they start using, like, until they start ducking against the up 4-1, right? That's when you go in and you press like, I don't know, this, and then go for the same mix-up. Back 4-2-3 is kind of bait, and it's also one of the buffed moves. Be very careful on how you use this move, because there are people out there who are already willing to duck the second hit. So it's kind of risky. But when they're not used to the move, it becomes an insanely strong mix-up tool, especially when you're in heat. And only when you're in heat. I don't think this move is worth going for when you're not in heat. And next to that, you still have your other mid options that you originally had. So like, I think Dump 4-2 is a really good move now. Because, check this. Your main weak side with Devil Jin in this game used to be right, because they can even sidewalk your Laser Scraper to the right if they're, as you can see, it's no longer fully homing. However, your down 4-2 will track that side super reliably, especially when they press into you. So what you can do is, especially in heat, you can do this into a mix. Now, Morning Crow 1/2 I think is a very bad move when you are not in heat. You only use that to kill someone, realistically. However, when you're in heat, your Morning Crow entries become like 10 times stronger. So check this. This is like 17 plus 39 damage. And I think the damage on this will probably get nerfed, but this is 56 damage already. And then this right here, as a 13 frame Voice-Tuning punish, becomes very real. This is 66 damage. And you still have a ton of heat left. So if they try to avoid your Morning Crow mix-up after this somehow, by sidewalking or whatever, they get caught out. The main counterplay you will see to Morning Crow actually is they will try to jab you out, and this is when you will just go in and down back 2 until they stop jabbing you. So like this is, you can combine movement with Morning Crow to make it especially harder to counter. It's like even against the highest levels of players in Europe, it was either I go in with Morning Crow or I go in and bait out their jabs and launch them for it. Because it's kind of hard to react to Morning Crow, and especially hard to react to Morning Crow 2 on its own, which is now safe. You can just throw this out randomly in the neutral and see, are they ready to counter my Morning Crow? If they're not, go ham. If they are, you will have to counterplay their option, but that's kind of what Devil Jin is about anyway. You counter their options they use to counter your options. That's how conditioning works. So this is how you're going to utilize your heat. You're going to use a shit ton of Morning Crow. This is your main game plan in Morning Crow, in heat now. If you're not using Morning Crow well in heat, and instead immediately waste your heat by using back to 3 into heat dash or Morning Crow 2 into heat dash, you're trolling. Like, do not waste your heat at any cost. Do not waste it. Your heat is super precious in Season 2 now, and Devil Jin in Season 2 is all about using your heat properly. Another thing that I've noticed that is super annoying, you can use this as a check over and over and over again. I think the biggest war crime about Season 2 Devil Jin isn't even that new health sweep, it's this move being safe. And people aren't even used to it. It's like, a lot of people still try to jab punish it, I just stuck after it. This move is super stupid. Morning Crow 2 as a check is insanely dumb. So, if you want to condition him very freely, especially against the Morning Crow 1+2 and similar, just do this. It doesn't get any easier than this. I don't know why they made this safe. He did not deserve this, but whatever, we take it. Maybe they'll nerf it, I have no clue. But that's pretty much your heat. You use Morning Crow 2 to condition, and if they don't use jabs or anything that is similar to it in the neutral to keep your Morning Crow out, you can just go in and go ham. And people are still not ready for that Morning Crow 1+2. Just be careful, be sure to like mix your options up, because if you're too obvious with your Morning Crow 1+2, obviously it will get launched. And do not use this. Do not use this. Like Morning Crow 1+2 without heat, it's fine to use it once to get them to duck eventually, but do not overuse it. It's a dog shit move. It's genuinely bad. Yeah. So the other move they buffed is back 1+2. This is useless. Do not use. I have not found any use for this. So long as it's not +4, I think it will stay bad. Yeah, pretty much don't use. And down for 1. I think this down for 1 became super stupid, even if it's still -6. So like, let's put this back to blocking. And then also open counter hit. This down for 1, they just have to hold it. They have to hold it now. Well, down for 1-2 in my opinion is still a bad follow-up. And you only use down for 1-2 for the purpose of punishment or with punishment and nothing else. I do not think down for 1-2 has any other use, because down for 1-4 just overshadows it. This follow-up is super dumb. 27 plus 20 plus 16. How much damage is this? Like 63 into flip over. And after the flip over, you get a Morning Crow mix-up, or I don't know, when you're in heat, say you land something like this. Bam. All of a sudden they're on the verge of dying for eating one down for 1 follow-up and counted. So as I said, this down for 1 follow-up, they have to hold it. They have to respect their down for 1 now, so you can actually go in and annoy them if you're down for 1 to the point where they eventually have to press into you and they just die for it. This down for 1-4, the fact that it's only -13, you need to abuse this as much as possible. You need to abuse this. I abuse this move so much, especially near the wall. It's like, let's say I'm at the wall, right? I do some dumb floor trap like this. People are so ready to duck your down for 1-2 because it's a wall split that they kind of forget about the mid follow-up. And let's say he's blocking this and then he's crouching, right? He's trying to crouch my high follow-up. Bam. All of a sudden he's wall split, flip over, down back 1+2 OP. This down for 1-4 follow-up is one of the dumbest follow-ups I've ever seen on a down for 1, and you need to abuse it. That's pretty much the point of it. Other than that, there's not really much that changed except for maybe combos, but I won't get into combos for the sake of explaining the game plan right now. As I said before, your main game plan is use that new health sweep to get to the wall, use your heat properly, and in general your heat pressure. I think I also mentioned some other things. But if I had to say one thing about Season 2 Devil Jin, is that you have to utilize your heat much better. Another thing that they changed was the back 4 pushback on hit. I'm honestly still not used to this. You can just check them better now after this with like back 4-2 and stuff. They can't backdash it anymore. But this is kind of whatever. Like back 4 plus frames I never really made use of anyway. But as I said before, abuse this new follow-up, abuse your heat health sweep as much as possible. Abuse this new heat engager entry because it gives you a very, very, very strong mix-up from it. Like this is one of the strongest mix-ups in the game by far because your mid and low have like similar reward. Yeah, that's pretty much Season 2 Devil Jin. You go in much harder. You have to be way more confident with this character, and it's pretty much all there is about this character now. Don't forget that your down forward 1 is a very solid punishment tool now for 13 frames, and also a good whiff punish. So if they whiff something like, let's say, something like this, right? You actually have a very valid tool to whiff punish that if you're close enough. If you're close enough, yes. Before, I used to try to use something like this instead as a punish. Now I actually have a wall splitting with punish for moves like this. For CD44 and Westering 4-4 being more plus now, I think this doesn't change much. People are just way less willing to press into it now, which I think is a bad change because I like the old mind games of like 1-1 and back 4-2, which complemented each other. What you do now after CD44 is you actually go in and just try to mix them. Because they are respecting you much more, but there's not much more to it actually. Yeah, that's pretty much Season 2 Devil Jin. You go in much harder, and you just make them, you punish them for blocking pretty much, either by using your new lows, or like your new low, or your new Morning Crow 1+2 that's super spammable and super strong, especially because you have such strong mids from Morning Crow. Which is kind of stupid, but yeah, we take it. Your main weaknesses are still the same. Your character sucks at brawling up close, even though they have to respect your down forward 1 now. And Grey health is still your biggest weakness pretty much, so do not give them the chance to make a comeback. Try to use your momentum as much as possible. I remember saying at the start of Season 1 that Devil Jin was a momentum character. I think they doubled down on this specifically because this character feels even more like he has to rely on momentum a lot. This character, like the amount of perfects I've gotten so far in this season alone is uncanny. Like there are so many successful rounds where I just straight up perfect my opponent by not giving them the opportunity to breathe. I just go in and hope it works. But yeah, you need a lot of confidence. You need way more confidence to make Season 2 Devil Jin work. But if you have the confidence to do so, their reward is insane. The amount of damage this character gets from dumb stuff is straight up insane. Okay. So this is Season 2 Devil Jin. I might get into his combos or something in other videos, but this is pretty much it for the Season 2 overview, and I hope you can understand what his game plan looks like somewhat more now. Momo out. I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video.